Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Minty, and this is episode 2 of the Frigate Fracas tournament. This episode we've got the Manstein as the active combatant, going up against the FFO2 Papel by Adnecreus. Very nice looking little frigate destroyer looking thing here. The mast it's got up here. It'd be cool if it had sail blocks on it, but those are kind of, not allowed. They would look cooler with sails, but can't use sails in this tournament, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this best of 3 match underway and see how this goes. Ooh, the Papel opening up immediately, dunking a shot into the water. Wasted that little shot. The Papel very close to shooting across the center line there, but not quite. Manstein finally firing, but of course it's going to dunk that first shot. Ooh, big hit to the side of the Manstein there. That's a big hole. Papel hasn't even taken a hit yet. That's about to change. Ooh. Oh, Manstein's guns didn't do as much damage as I thought they would. Because the Papel is, if I remember correctly, if my memories of high school Spanish are correct, Papel means paper, and that is a very descriptive word for this vessel because it's like, that's basically what its armor is made out of. Ooh, it lost its frontal gun here. Papel taking some serious damage from that blast. Manstein catching up in hit points has brought it back into draw territory. Oh, blocks go flying everywhere with that hit. Still a very close match, but the Papel is getting out in front of the Manstein, making that rear gun useless. But it is making that right-hand turn. And yep, that'll bring the gun around. Unless, of course, it decides to now turn left and make the rear gun unusable again. Yeah, having such a low broadside range on the Manstein combined with relatively low speed is just not good. Does not work out well for the Manstein. I mean, the Papel isn't even that fast of a vessel itself, but Manstein has lost one of its forward dual-barreled gun there. It is disabled. Oh, taking another hit to the side. Looks like the rear gun finally got the fire, but it of course dumped its shots. Now it's got to reload, and now the rear gun is out of its firing arc again. Because the Manstein needs to just pick a freaking direction. If it would just put its guns constantly on target, I'm pretty sure it would have beaten the Tiny Tim in the previous episode, and it probably would beat the Papel because of how fragile this ship is. The Manstein can take a beating. It's taking a lot of hits and staying, more or less functional, but is this turret going to get pulled out of its arc before it can fire again? Yep. Yes, it is. And it looks like only the the front single barrel cannon is actually getting the fire. Oh, and it missed there. Shell went just a little bit short. The Manstein taking another hit. Now that frontal gun is gone. The only thing it has left is that rear turret, which, unless the Manstein does something different on its maneuvering, is pretty much useless. Oh, and it just took a hit. Barrels got sheared off. I think the turret itself took a hit there, but it didn't take any actual damage. Or it was very close to hitting the turret. Oh, it got to fire a shot there, but, oh, lucky water skip. It bounced up and hit the Papel. But, oh, well, now the rear turret is popped off. The Manstein has no operable weapons left. And that's probably the fatal blow right there. Yep, and that's it. Manstein is below 55%. It is mortally wounded and going to despawn here. And there it goes. So that is the end of round 1 of this match. Let's go ahead and get it restarted. And we'll get round 2 underway. Papel immediately firing, but missing. Some shots went wide, the other ones dunked into the water. Wow, actually skipped over the ship. That was a really high bounce for that water skip. Secondary shot coming in. Hits the side of the Manstein, did some damage. Got those primary shells coming in. Right on that rear single barrel turret. That is gone, utterly obliterated. Oh, and that frontal turret, dual barrel turret, just took a huge hit. Doesn't seem to have popped off, but it is no longer functional. Gotta love those new muzzle flash graphics though, huh? The only thing I wish is that for the bigger cram cannons they didn't stick around quite as long as they do. So it kind of obscures the view of the battle. Like right there, that smoke could have faded away a lot sooner. Manstein's down to 78%. Well, I guess losing, I was about to say 2 guns, but then the third one just got direct hit. Losing 3 guns will knock out a lot of your hit points. And now, unless the Manstein, you know, is smart and just goes broadside and decides to cruise alongside the Papel, it's not really gonna stand much of a chance without any weapons. It's a shame because the Manstein is a nice ship with a good amount of firepower and armor, but those AI settings, that's all it takes. One little detail and the whole thing falls apart. Rear gun is coming around, but the Manstein is turning to pull it out of its arc. So it's not going to even get a chance to fire and dunk its shells into the water. It's just going to be a sit and duck here. The Papel is doing some interesting aquabatics, I guess. Don't know why the nose is popped up so high like that. I mean, it's not damaged, but if it goes up much higher, it could exceed the altitude limit and get itself disqualified. Manstein getting some good dodges in there. Too bad it, you know, isn't returning fire at all. Papel has almost fully healed itself from what little damage it did take in. Oh, the rear turret popped off somehow. I missed how that happened. That a secondary shell must have skipped off the water and clipped it there, or something. I mean, it's completely popped, so the turret block itself must have been destroyed. But the compartment is fine. There's no damage. It's just a hole. Huh. Interesting. Oh, and that is it. The Manstein is 2 damaged. Oh, but the Papel is rearing too far up out of the water. It has to come down from that. Which it does as soon as its engines turn off. It's like, okay, if it had not come down from that, the battle would have been a draw. But it came down, so that is a victory. And the Papel avoided disqualification there and earned the win, earned the W. So the Papel gains a win, Stein gains a loss. It's at 2 losses if it loses its next match against the Raider Palash. Raider Palash? Whatever, by Carnival, then it will be retired, and the Tiny Tim will become the new active combatant. But I guess we'll see what happens in the next episode, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the battlefield.